There are reports of intense clashes near Khartoum between Sudan's regular army and the paramilitary group known as the Rapid Support Forces. The army said that it had launched an offensive against the RSF in the city of Omdurman in Khartoum state. The RSF had retreated there after being pushed out of the nearby capital, Khartoum. The two sides have been at war since April of 2023. The UN says the violence has caused the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Well, for more now, I can speak to Elbashir Idris. He's a human rights activist and Sudan analyst. He joins us from Cardiff. It's good to have you with us. What is the situation in and around the capital at the moment? What are you hearing?
Thank you very much, Jeff. Well, as of today, we've heard reports from military sources towards news outlets that supposedly the Sudanese armed forces have taken full control of Khartoum state, meaning the state that has the capital city, Khartoum, along with its sister cities of Omdurman and Bahri. This morning, we've seen news that the army managed to push out the rapid support forces within Al-Salha area in Omdurman, where there was a heavy entrenchment of the RSF still positioned there. And we've seen a massacre that happened just last month, actually. And this is a very big step towards ending the RSF presence within the center of the country, along with ending their presence just further out of the capital city as well. This comes in with news of a new prime minister being announced. That came in by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan of the Sudanese Armed Forces, appointing Dr. Kamal Idris as the new Sudanese Prime Minister of Sudan. Dr. Kamal Idris is a former UN World Intellectual Property Organization Director General, along with many high accolades internationally, regionally, and nationally. So seeing the combat situation on the ground, along with this announcement, shows that the Sudanese Armed Forces feels pretty confident with itself that it moving forward, that it has regained control of the capital and large swathes of the country. But not only is the capital.
If I could, let me ask you, we understand that two rival generals are fighting each other. What exactly is it that they are fighting for?
Well, first, these two rival generals were supposed to come under one framework agreement to be a unified army. However, on the 15th of April 2023, that all burnt up along with the city and the rest of the country, where essentially these two men have been battling through their multiple militias to take control of the country. Essentially, taking control of Sudan means you get to be a king of wealth and resources that can transport out to the rest of the world. And each one wants to hold those resources, but also gain impunity for the amount of war crimes they've committed. But at the same time, these two forces do have their proxies, most notably the Rapid Support Forces with the United Arab Emirates. It's been accused and alleged, and with multiple dossiers of evidence actually showing the UAE's involvement. In fact, in today's clashes in Omdurman, and after defeating the RSF, the Sudanese army, in fact, found large caches of weapons and ammunition that had been labeled by the United Arab Emirates for the RSF, and that is now being captured. So what we're seeing here is not only a fight for protection from immunity and gaining of resources, but it's also a move done by proxies, international proxies that wish to see the situation in Sudan favor them more than the well-being of the Sudanese people.
Yeah, this is happening while the UN is calling this the world's worst humanitarian crisis. I mean, what do these latest developments, what do they mean for people in the country?
Well, just 2 weeks ago, the new administrative capital, Port Sudan, which is located all the way at the eastern coast of the country by the Red Sea, had been under attack for the past 2 weeks by drones and even by some reports of a manned aircraft. This means that the city of Port Sudan, that many have considered a safe haven, where international NGOs and where humanitarian organizations and even embassies operate from, under attack. And we've seen for the past 2 weeks just on these attacks on civilian infrastructure, on civilian targets, as well with military ones. So this whole situation, it's an ebb and flow that can really change in a moment's notice. And that's what makes this conflict very unstable and difficult to read.
What do you think then needs to happen now to stop both the fighting and obviously the suffering by civilians?
Well, we've tried for the past 2 years to gain the attention of the international community, and it just hasn't seemed to be enough. So with this new appointment of a prime minister, hopefully we can move towards and redouble efforts towards a civilian transition and an inclusive government and society once again, also better than the one that happened last time. This gives an opportunity, some new leeway and nuance for multiple parties and multiple actors with different stakeholders and interests for Sudan to come back and have the appetite for dialogue again. But to do that, we do need to rally together to have that appetite again and to understand that democracy is the art of compromise here. And I'm sure that everybody has their own voices and opinions. We need to find the middle ground, and now is the time to do so.
Elbashir Idris, human rights activist and Sudan analyst. Mr. Idris, we appreciate your time and your insights today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.